So Steve Davis breaks off in this one-frame challenge match against the winner of the Cockney Snooker Classic, Nick Lazarus. And what an important frame this is for this young man. It's not often that at 19 years of age you play one frame of snooker for £1,000. Well, a little bit of a wild one there, but he was in a spot of bother. And Steve now with a red on over the corner pocket, but has to get on a colour. Oh, and he's missed the red, would you believe? So, chance here to draw first blood.
One.
Well, certainly hasn't placed the cue ball where he wanted. Can only hit one colour, the black, and can't do a great deal with that. Just a little tickle into it for a safety stroke.
Nick Lazarus, one.
A chance for the red into the middle pocket. Oh no, he didn't have the red on, just played a safety stroke. According to my notes, Nick Lazarus has previously beaten Steve Davis, but that was with a start of 30 points. Oh, certainly a bit cagey at the moment. There's neither player being able to take the cue ball to the ball kin for safety because, of course, there is a red down there. Well, he was very unfortunate there, played a very good shot. But the red came up and kissed another one over the pocket. But I don't think Steve can pot that. Great pot there. Intending to come back for the black, but that didn't quite work out. But a tremendous pot there from the world champion. But certainly in a little trouble now. No easy pot on, and if he should miss the pot, he's obviously going to leave a red on. And that's a hallmark of a champion.
Three.
Two tremendous pots there, but still not out of the wood. Can't get at the red that's over the corner pocket.
Four.
Nick there wondering whether he's going to get back to the table.
Seven.
If Steve can get onto the black from this red, and the game goes back to some sort of normality.
$15.
Well, looks as if he may have travelled a little too far with that. Yes, can't pot one of those three reds. Has to be content with the safety stroke.
$15. Steve Davis.
So Steve Davis into a 14-point lead.
One.
Well, I think we'll see a little tickle up behind the brown. No point in trying to pot it.
One. Steve Davis. False stroke. 4. Steve Davis.
Well, obviously touched the brown there. Another 4 points away. There's certainly nothing being given away in this frame.
One.
And once again, a great pot there from Steve Davis. And this is an important one. He's missed it.
1. Steve Davis.
So, a chance for Nick Lazarus. Red into the middle pocket, the black right over the corner. Should get at least 8.
1.
Come through for the blue. Now he's going to take the black and perhaps go into the reds, try and open them up a bit.
Eight.
And this is a difficult one if he's going to take this on. Cue ball very close to the cushion. Makes the shot very difficult.
Nick Lazarus, 8. Steve Davis, 21. Nick Lazarus, 9.
Once again, an opportunity for Steve Davis. Well, would you believe this? Was a little awkward cueing there. Had to raise the bridge to get over the top of the red, but doesn't normally miss those. Oh, this frame far from over.
One. Eight.
Oh, what a golden opportunity here.
Nine.
And that black takes him into a 4-point lead.
16.
Oh, what a night this young man is having. And Mark Lazarus there, very intent on watching this game. Well, not quite the position he desired, but the red is on into the middle pocket. And he's now 15 points in front. Well, you can hear what the crowd thought of that one. That was a great shot, and he's just the right angle for getting on to the two reds that are behind the pink.
Sure.
35.
And one thing that this young man is proving is that he's got the right temperament for the game. And Steve getting a little worried, I would think. A little bit short of pace on that one.
43.
And Steve with a lot of work to do if he's to win this frame. 31 points behind.
Nick Lazarus.
Now, a great break of 43 there.
52.
Takes Nick Lazarus into a very good position in this frame. Just 43 points on the table. And that's a very good snooker played by Steve there. Well, must do something about trying to move that red that's over the corner pocket. Oh, that was unlucky.
Foul stroke. 4.
Given 4 points away and
Steve
has left the red on.
Steve Davis 25. Nick Lazarus 52.
The thing in Nick Lazarus' favour here is that the last red is in a rather safe position. Well, the red's over the pocket, but I think he's covered that with the blue. Well, Steve could get through to it.
1.
Well, now has the problem of that last red. Looks as if he may have to be just content with the black and play a safety stroke. Ah, that was a marvellous effort.
8. Steve Davis 8.
Well, Nick Lazarus 19 points in front with the last red on the table. Steve will be trying to get the cue ball behind the green. No, he's bringing it to the top end. He's got to be very careful, of course. This young man could pot the last red and a colour. He'd be almost home. And that could well be the frame winner. He can pot the black. Steve Davis will require snookers. Well, in fact, 27 points the difference. 27 on the table. But not anymore.
10.
Steve Davis now requires one snooker to draw. Oh, in one night, this young man seems to have won £2,000. And a lot of glory. And Steve Davis throws in the towel. So what a wonderful night for Nick Lazarus. Beats world snooker champion Steve Davis and picks up another £1,000.
In a single frame like that.
I don't know. Can't explain it. I don't know. I just feel up there somewhere.
But it was such a tense frame. You needed to show your character throughout. What was the stage? We saw at one stage a big smile come on your face about 5 minutes before the end. Was that the moment that you thought you'd won it?
When I potted the red, I thought I'd won it.
That was a tremendous shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was then.
Steve Davis, talk us through that one.
Yeah, well, I was sitting in my chair thinking, well, that's gone quite nicely safe, and knowing Nicky will probably go for this, and I'll be stuck up. But it was quite difficult for me. I was on a hiding to nothing, and it probably showed a bit. But full credit to Nicky, because I mean, I played him in the handicap, the matchroom handicap, only a little while ago, and it was quite a big start I gave him in the handicap.
Slaughtered me.
And I won. And for Nicky to come out now and play on a high as he would have been after winning the final and still keep up the concentration was very good. And I'm very, very disappointed. But I've got to go back now to the matchroom and suffer it. But
you are going to suffer there as well, aren't you?
well, I will do. But the World Championships is coming up soon, so I shall get down working for that, and they won't take the mickey out of me too close to that.
Thinking of entering for that, are you?
Not yet. One day, maybe.
What is the future? You must be now seriously thinking about maybe snooker. You're still very young, but this must change your attitude a bit, I should think.
Yeah, do it. At least I know I can do it now, which I wasn't too sure of before. I just have to start entering, going around the circuit and see what happens from there.
Really was a taste of the big time. Many congratulations
Thank you
once
very
again.
much.
You're a bit richer as well.
Yeah.
Let's bring on the chairman of Mecca Bookmakers once again. This is another cheque, £1,000 for Nicky Lazarus.
Great stuff. Big payday for Nicky Lazarus there. You could see how much it meant to him. And great reception. And Steve Davis, he hasn't aged a day, nor is Steve Ryder, has he?
No, Steve, whatever happened to him? He's
still going strong.
His career
British
took a nose
touring
stuff.
car.
And then, I know he's brilliant. I meant that in an ironic way. He's had a great career, hasn't he?
Of course he has.
Yeah.
It was great to look back at that, though, and see the crowd all there in their bow ties and the ties, makes our crowd, puts them to shame, really.
The most impressive thing, apart from Nicky Lazarus winning the frame, was the haircuts. Some of there was mullets going on, there was red ties, even I think Barry Hearn had a pink tie on. I think we seen him in the corner. It was good to look back on.
It was, and Nicky Lazarus, he didn't really bat on from there, though, did he? He talked there about maybe going round the circuit and seeing how far he could go, but it's a tough game now. It was a tough game then as well.
I had a little look because there's a great site called Q-Tracker. You can look at all the players and their careers from all levels of snooker professional. And Nicky, who I knew as a junior player quite well, from he was from Essex, I was London, and we played a few times. He never made it. He didn't do an awful lot. He played 4 or 5 years, 6 years, didn't pick up any money, and he had a bit of talent, as you could see from that. But ultimately, he just didn't make it. Sadly,
Alan just mentioned Barry Hearn sitting watching that match in the front row with his wife.
Susan,
and look at that. If you just take a look in the top right-hand corner, there's Barry sitting there watching his protégé with his wife sitting next to him, Susan, which is great. And if you now look, there he is being interviewed afterwards. Hasn't aged a bit, nor indeed has his tie, because look, can you see that? He's still got that tie. This is the welcome to the champion of champions, and Barry's got the tie.
You have to ask yourself one question, Jill. How do you think he's worth so much money? Because he saves money on stuff like ties. One tie for life.
Well, usually at some stage in life, someone comes overnight and steals your dress sense. That didn't happen with Barry Hearn. I don't know what's going on.
I tell you what, though, his passion for the sport is the same as it was then. The game, though, has changed a lot. And, I mean, Barry's changed the sport, the way it is played, and the way that the players travel the world, certainly in the last few years. Has the game changed itself, in essence?
It has. The shot selection's changed. Let me just pick, off the top of my head, a shot you don't see anymore. Just top side of the blue, top spin, 2 cushions into the back of the pack. There's a shot you could go a full season, you won't see that shot. You know the shot I'm talking about? Yeah. We were sort of briefly talking about it earlier. There's so many I can't think right now.
The game's just changed in so many ways. I tell you, the game hasn't changed in one way. What you've got to do, right, in snooker, you pop what you think you can pop, and then you have to play safe. That's the game. It's always been the game. But unfortunately now, they pop more and the percentages have changed. So now they only play safe when they really have to, because the players now think they can pot everything. And I'll say one thing. I know Alan's dying to say this. The pockets are smaller now than they were then. And no one really who's outside believes that, oh, the pockets are enormous now. It is nonsense. The pockets are smaller now than they were back in the days of the Cockney Classic. They were enormous pockets, and I should be saying the other way round. I should say, in my day, things were tougher. The pockets were bigger then than they are now, and that's the truth.
We've got a saying in Glasgow that back in the 80s like that, the mid-80s, we called them pasters buckets. The pockets, they were gigantic. The fact is, they changed from non-steel block tables in 1981, was the last World Championship. In 82, when Alex won, was the first year of steel block cushions, which make the pockets a bit tighter. But the old ones, the late 70s, the pockets were humongous. And the game has massively... But shot selection's changed. I mean, see if the guys that play now played on the tables of 30, 40 years ago, there would be guaranteed 6 or 7 tons every match.